Hey guys, can you hear me okay? What's up everyone? I'm glad you're all here. So yeah. Good, everyone can hear me. Okay. As usual, gonna apologize for any background noise or stuff you'll hear other than me. I am not alone. But yeah, other than that, here we are. This has been way overdue. I love you too, son. Zilthus? I can't pronounce your name, son. I'm sorry, I'm a bad mother. Anyway, yes, the dog is fine. Thank you for asking, FT Legend. Yeah, last time, if you were here or you weren't here, I had to stop my stream. I stream at my boyfriend's house because his internet is better and it's just like a more conducive space for me to live stream. And last time, his dog is fine. He just suffers from seizures occasionally, and he had one on my last live stream. So I unfortunately had to stop because there was a lot of commotion. But no, he's doing just fine. Zil Sith, got it. But yeah, doggy's doing just fine, and we're here now. This is a long overdue stream. Very exciting. We're almost going to hit 11,000 subscribers, but this was supposed to be for 10,000 subscribers. So that's absolutely crazy. I'm incredibly grateful that it happened. It's just been a few weeks, so... Oof. I actually do want to do bad drug trip stories. I feel like those are wild. I haven't found any. I should look into some. I'm actually kind of like, I'm doing air quotes, like taking the summer off, kind of. Like I'm still editing all the time and like working on stuff, but I actually am kind of done recording until the middle of September. Like I'm not recording any new stuff. Pretty much just kind of done with that, just trying to enjoy my summer and relax and do what I gotta do. I usually get really, really busy in the summer, so I don't have actually any concrete plans for any stories until mid-September. I'm not even really looking into any. I'm just kind of enjoying my summer. But those are all really good suggestions that everyone's been saying. So I just did Stalker Stories, Jamie. I actually just did Stalker Stories. That was this week's video. I can link you. Sorry if you hear me clicking away. Let me link you guys. But yeah, I actually just did Stalker Stories, which I actually have 2 Stalker videos. I'll just link them both in the description for you guys, if you are interested. Here we go. Here's this week's video that I just did. That's Stalker Stories, and I have another one. Let me look it up for you guys. I know that a lot of you, most of you, like the true stuff, which I've been trying to do some more of. And this is the other Stalker video I did a while ago. I'm good, Reaper Tells. So yeah. Alright, so if you weren't here for my last stream, in which I deleted, hello John O'Connor. Just Another Monster asks, do you have any scary personal stories that you may or may not share in the future? I actually have shared 2 personal stories on my channel, which I can go get for you. And I do have more in my arsenal. It's just a matter of finding the time to sit down and write them out and, you know, get all that, my thoughts collected. But I do have here is, I did one personal story, which is a, my encounter with a Native American spirit that I had, a few years ago. Actually, this mic is a microphone that I only use for streaming. I have 3 microphones. So where, I didn't catch your name. Crazy Blonde asked, did you get a new mic recently? Your audio sounds better. No, this is the same. If you're talking about like just specifically for streaming, this is the same microphone that I've mostly been using for streaming. It's a Samsung, I forget. Honestly, I forget. But it's the brand is Samsung, and it's like a little portable desk mic, USB mic. And then for actual recording, I use a Zoom microphone. And then when I get my own space, I have a P220 microphone that I'll probably start using, which you have to use like a mixer and like, you know, it's like legit. So that's crazy. So there is one personal, I'm jumping back. Thank you, April, saying she liked my background. Thank you. And PD Mixstuffer says, Mom, your voice is like heaven. Thank you. Thank you, child. So, right, back to what was I talking about? I was talking about personal stories. So that one that's linked right there in the chat is a personal encounter with a Native American spirit. And then I have an older video, which is like I've talked about this like 600 times. If you've been here since the beginning, you're probably completely sick of me talking about it. But I don't know what I heard on the radio. It sounded like a live kidnapping or torture or something. So that is a older video that I'm going to link for you guys now. That is a personal experience. And then I have it's kind of more, I guess, sad, but it's a crazy ex-boyfriend story, which I will also link for you here. That one is just, it's a little bit sad. I just want to say, Axeman Cartoons is in the house. What's up, dude? It was actually that, guys, I lied to you. That audio from my radio story that I linked is actually just Axeman singing in the shower. So, sorry. I'm exposed. Reaper Tells asks, what website do you use to make merch? The website that I'm currently using is Spreadshirt, and it's pretty user-friendly, so Spreadshirt, I can link that for you too. Lots of linking going on today. This is the link stream where I just put links in the comments. I'm actually gonna do a shameless self-promo, and I'm gonna link my store. But it's Spreadshirt. I use Spreadshirt. It's pretty user friendly. The only thing about it is that you have to have your design already made. Like, you have to already have the design file made, and then you upload it to the website, and then everything is really easy from there. So but there's that. And so, yeah, guys, I never got to actually do this because life wasn't working out. But hey, everyone, I have merch now. So merch is now available. The link is in the description. I just put it in the chat. So if you guys are interested in buying anything, you know, that's there for you. And yeah, you know, there's I tried to make a ton of options. I think there's even children's sizes, so you guys can check that out. In the future, I know that there's an option now where you can link Teespring, which is another website that you can use to make merch. You can link Teespring directly to your page. So I might have some exclusive stuff going on there when I have a minute to figure that out. I really would, Axman said, start selling bobbleheads. That would be amazing. And I wish that I had the means to do that. That would be incredible. I wish that I knew, like, someone who could do that for me, make that happen. That'd be crazy. But yeah, we currently just have t-shirts, hoodies, and I think you can get, like, mugs and, like, bags, stuff, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. Hello, Anne. How are you? That would be, you might be onto something, Axman. Maybe you should do it. Because I don't want to take credit for your idea. It really is brilliant. People would probably totally buy it. Like little, like, pop figures. That'd be lit. Yeah, merch is now available, as you can see. Link in the description. And if you guys do purchase anything, whether it be a mug, a shirt, like, whatever it is, you can email me the picture or, like, tag me in the picture on Twitter, whatever. All my social media and everything you need to know is linked below. And I will, like, post the picture on Twitter or Instagram and, like, tag you. So, yeah, if you want to be tagged when you get your merch, just make sure you let me know and send me a picture that you got something, and we'll put you out there. I don't really know what's going on with that, but what is going on in the chat right now? Why are we, like, having church? Because that's, you know, what's going on? Yeah, we don't, yeah. Anyway, sorry, that just kind of caught me off guard. I do have Instagram. It's linked in the description box. You can go check that out. Let me type it here. I think I can. It's not going to link you directly to my Instagram, but it is my Instagram username. You can go follow me there. I'm actually almost at 1,000 followers on Instagram, so if you guys want to help me out. John O'Connor asks, what is your worst nightmare? My worst nightmare is probably, I really kind of, like, my worst nightmare, like, one that I've had, or my worst nightmare, like, my worst fear of something happening to me. Just clarify and then I'll answer. And Wrath asks, are any of your upcoming videos collaborations? Yes, actually, I tried to get a big idea, and I tried to do 100 stories for my 100th video, which was just way too overwhelming and way too much to take on. So I do have some extra submissions from that, and I'm probably going to have a collaboration coming out near the end of the summer. And Axman said he just found a bobblehead website, and I'm going to look that up. Can you, like, private message me on Twitter? Because that's something we should definitely, yes. And yeah. Insane Caveman asks, will you do more Native American stories? Probably, maybe more around the Thanksgiving time. I don't have any more personal Native American stories, but maybe I'll find some more to do during Thanksgiving, because I feel like that's appropriate. And John O'Connor clarified, worst nightmare that I've had. So the ones that actually stuck with me, I don't know if they're necessarily the worst, because I don't remember every single nightmare I've ever had, but one that has stuck with me for many, many years is when I was little, like very little. My mom read me this book about bears, and it wasn't a scary book about bears, like it was a children's book about bears. But that night I had a dream I think I slept in my parents' bed that night. Like, I was very young. But I had a dream that there was a bear standing in my parents' doorway. Like, I remember the hallway light was on, and the bear, like, you just saw the shadow of it standing. And it came in to the bedroom and started just mauling me. And, like, I actually, like, physically felt the scratches on my back. And it's something I've never forgotten that dream. And I was, like, a little kid. And that was wild to me. And mostly now, like, I guess the nightmares I have are more, like, realistic nightmares where it's like, oh, I got in a really bad argument with my boyfriend. And I actually have this one, I guess, like, reoccurring nightmare where I lose control of my car in this, like, one specific stretch of highway that, like, I have near my house. So, like, every time in real life when I'm driving on that spot, and it's like a off-ramp, so it's kind of, like, on a hill, and the dream is just me, like, ricocheting my car off this hill and, like, losing control and, like, flying through the air. So, like, that's pretty scary. Let's see. Reaper asks, did you ever expect to get this far on YouTube? And if not, what do you think you would get to? I honestly know I didn't expect to get this far. And at least, not like I didn't expect to get this far, I didn't expect to get this far as quickly as I did. And that's saying, like, my growth really isn't really too quick. Like, there's definitely people that are growing a lot quicker than me, and it definitely could be more if I had the opportunity to, like, do more uploads and things like that. But not saying that I didn't expect to get this far. I really didn't expect to get this far as quickly as I have, and it's truly incredible, and it's all thanks to you guys. And Anne Vining, I hope I'm saying that right, asks, are you a gamer? And no, I am not. I am horrible at video games. I suck at video games. I've literally fully played maybe 5 video games my entire life, mostly consisting of Kingdom Hearts and Jak and Daxter. I currently don't own a game system. The last game system I owned was the first Wii that came out. But I literally suck so hard at video games. I get really frustrated. Oh, I played Guitar Hero too. That was fun. But, like, I get really frustrated and, like, angry and throw the controller, and people are like, oh my god, you need to calm down, just because I'm so bad at it. April at, oh my gosh, Besser? April Besser, I hope I'm saying your name right. What two horror movies are your favorite? I'm going to have to say that The Sixth Sense is one of my favorite, because that movie scared me. I don't know if it would still scare me now, the way that it did back when I first watched it, but, like, that movie stuck with me. I was scared. And I really like Saw. Like, maybe not all of them, but definitely the first one was pretty legit. Yes. Jose Cuevas asks, what type of stories do you refuse to do? And I'm sorry if I messed up your name, dude. I really don't. Stories I refuse to do. I kind of refuse to do classic creepypastas, like Slender Man. I do have one, like, Smile Dog story on my channel, but it's just one, and it's, like, you have to go way back to the beginning. I'm not really into classic creepypastas like that. And hey, Cat Daddy and Cornflake, how are you? I'm sorry, April. If you want to break it down for me in the chat, how to pronounce your last name, I will fix myself.
What you doing, baby?
1 second, guys.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. How's the sheets?
They're good. Yeah, no, they're really nice. The whole thing is really nice.
I bought new pillowcases. What did you do with them? For the other pillows.
They're on.
No.
No?
I put other pillowcases. I just bought them.
This is not. Oh, I guess not.
Here they are. That's them. Sorry.
No, thank you.
Just so you know, that's where they are.
Sorry, my boyfriend actually just redid his room, and we got a new bed, and obviously new pillowcases and everything. So that's fun. Fun fact, we're two like grown adults and we've been sharing a twin bed for like many, many years. So now we have a full-size bed and it's incredible and it's very comfortable. So that's what that was all about. We got new pillowcases, new sheets. It's lovely. Lovely. Can you not like go back? Oh, you can go back. Okay. Wrath asked, what type of music do you listen to? So I listen to mostly like metal, like rock kind of stuff. And Reaper Tells says, just shared the stream. Thank you, dude. And yeah, mostly metal, rock, all that kind of stuff. And like my favorite band is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I also really enjoy reggae on occasion. So that's fun. But yeah, that's basically, my music taste is really all over the place. I'm glad that you're staying up, PhD Mixed Stuffer. It's almost 10 p.m. where I'm at. Greg Bretch says, congratulations on 10K. Thank you. Hope I pronounced your name correctly. John O'Connor says, do you believe that the Slenderman creepypasta has its own movie now? No, I expected as much. Hello, Carlton Nolan from... Hello, how are you? Yeah, so I'm just going to my favorite creepypasta. I don't have one. I know that this is like, I don't know if this is right, but I don't consider this like fictional stories I read. I really don't consider them creepypastas. They're just scary stories to me. And if you're gonna ask my favorite scary story right now, and as I say every time, is Feed the Pig. You're probably all sick of me saying that my favorite story is Feed the Pig. But yes, I'm doing good, Carlton. I can't complain. Derek M says, who's your favorite narrator besides you? My favorite narrator is honestly the Grim Reader, and he just came back and he's making videos again, and he is like my absolute favorite. And then of course there's Let's Read, Mr. Scarecrow, and then of course like Mr. Nightmare Corpse Husband. Like you can't forget them. Cat Daddy and Cornflake ask, how's it been at work? It's been good. It's been good. For some of you who may not know, I do work full-time outside of YouTube, and I take care of a mentally disabled adult he has autism, and that's what I do for work. And yeah, so guys, I'm just going to take a break from the chat for a minute. I don't know if any of the people that did ask me questions are actually here right now, but I do have some backlogged questions that I need to answer from last stream, and I feel like a lot of you might have kind of asked them already, but I am going to go and find those and answer them because I owe those people that much, and maybe they're going to watch later. So let me just pull those up. And if you guys want to ask, like if you have a burning question that you want to ask and you absolutely cannot wait until I get through these, you can use, I believe you can use Super Chat, and I will definitely see it. So let me... Alright, I think I found it. So I'm going to just roll through some questions really quick. So, from my post on the community chat tab from last stream that I had to stop, Ned Silver asks, he asked what time I was going to be streaming. Now! Next is Mark Selby. He asks, what are your favorite stories to read and narrate, and what is your absolute favorite story you've narrated so far? So I kind of already answered that. Feed the Pig is my favorite story I've narrated so far. I'll throw another one in there. Autopilot is another one of my favorites, and Death at 423 Stockholm Street. And my favorite kind of stories to read are really messed up ones with a twist ending. Legal Eagle Feathers asks, Blonde, have you ever experienced anything supernatural or paranormal yourself? My house is an old sea captain's farmhouse sort of deal, and there's been plenty of things over the years, including a nursing home. And it's been plenty of things over the years, including a nursing home. We've had ghosts here and there. I think the most scary one we've encountered, he's gone now, would appear in windows as a silhouette, and you would smell cigarettes and smoke. Nobody in my family or extended family smokes at all. So that's a crazy story from Legal Eagle Feathers, and like I mentioned before, I have had a few paranormal experiences, which I'm not going to talk about because I do want to write them out and make them videos. But there's the Native American video that I linked before, and there is the kidnapping radio story I linked before. And if you can also just find them on my channel. I think I have a playlist of it says original stories, I think, and it's all of my stuff that I've written or experienced myself. Gambit the King says, if you wouldn't be narrating stories on YouTube, what would you be doing, and what are your favorite stories to narrate? So we covered the favorite stories to narrate, and what would I be doing if I wasn't narrating stories on YouTube? Probably just working at my job and not being fulfilled in life and crying myself to sleep. Antonio, Antonio and me talk all the time on Twitter, and I'm sorry, Antonio, I have not ever said your name out loud before, so if I mess it up, I apologize. Antonio Contreras asks, what advice would you have for what equipment to use if you're starting out as a horror narrator on YouTube? Oh, bye, just another monster. See ya, thank you for stopping by. Equipment to use. So I actually started narrating on my cell phone. It was a Samsung Galaxy S6, and most of my first narrations were on my phone. So if you're really thinking about starting and I would recommend just starting and using your phone or something like that. And then I'm not really very widely versed on microphones and stuff like that. I don't really know, and I can't really give you good advice. I would definitely just do your research and maybe ask somebody that knows. All of the mics that I have were gifts, so they seem to be working just fine. I use a Zoom H5 as my main microphone to narrate my stories, and I actually wouldn't recommend that one. I have that one just because it's portable. I can bring it literally anywhere, so if I'm in a pinch, I can record in the woods if I wanted to. So, I mean, if you're in a type of situation where you need that, the Zoom H5 is pretty good, but it does pick up a lot of background noise, and it's kind of hard to, edit in post. So that's why I really wouldn't recommend it. Axman says, I'm out. I sent that link to you on Twitter. I call it Twitter too! That's amazing! Bye, Axman. Thank you so much. And thank you, Carlton, for following me on Instagram. And can you do more werewolf stories? They're not, I guess, werewolf stories, but I did just put out a Dogman video recently, so you can go check that out if you're really itching for a kind of Dogman werewolf type deal. And Tuxedo Cat says, you're streaming at the same time as Swamp and the Strangest. Well, of course I'm streaming at the same time as Swamp because we're constantly in a stream war. And Mother Creepypasta, now I'm going back to the questions. Mother Creepypasta asked, can we ask more than one? Because I'm doing it. What is your favorite Halloween costume you wore from your childhood? And have you thought about what you want done with your body when you die? Also, when are you going to visit Seattle again? That's a lot. So the first one, my favorite Halloween costume from when I was little, I was a turtle once, and my mom made me a giant physical shell out of this styrofoam material and painted me all green, and I was a turtle, and that has to be one of my favorites. And have you thought about what you want to do with your body when you die? If it's at all possible, which it probably isn't, I want to be cryogenically frozen, maybe before I die, and then woken up if they can cure me and give me eternal life. But on the real. I don't know if anyone has seen these where you like get turned into like a tree or something. That would be cool. Mr. Haunted asks, what is your dream job? I really enjoy my job right now. It's not exactly where I thought I would end up, but I really enjoy my job right now. Like I said earlier in the stream, I work with a autistic adult, and we have a lot of fun together. I've been with him for 5-6 years now, and it's not completely. I went to college and I got a bachelor's in psychology, which you can do absolutely nothing with. You need to get a master's or higher to like really get into it. But I'm lazy and I don't like school. Not like I don't do well. Like I did well in school and I do just fine. I just like it's not something I enjoy. But I didn't go back to school, so I'm doing that. But if I was like my actual dream job, what I actually set out to do, I did want to be a psychologist and open my own practice, which could still happen. Like I could go back to school and that could still happen. But I'm pretty content right now. And honestly, like maybe doing YouTube like as a sustainable thing is like one of my dream careers. Fable to the Grave asks, what do you feel have been your greatest successes so far, and what do you hope to? He didn't finish the sentence. Or he or she, I'm sorry, didn't finish the sentence. But what do you feel have been your greatest successes so far? In life, like in actual life, going to Japan, like paying for it in cash by myself and like getting myself to Japan. Reaching 10,000 plus subscribers on YouTube, graduating college and high school. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. Mr. Davis, who also has a channel, if you guys don't know, Mr. Davis asks, who is your favorite YouTuber and why is it me? Seriously though, where do you plan on taking your channel in the future? Do you see yourself trying something different down the road? I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of like seeing where it goes, seeing what we're doing. Maybe I'll do more true crime in the future or something like that. I don't know. I really don't have any plans. I'm just kind of like going with the flow, seeing what's happening, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. Just living life. And Sheila Actor. I'm so sorry. Actor. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst. Do you have a favorite horror story that you've narrated, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? And has anything creepy or paranormal happened to you? We already answered most of those, but where do I see myself in 5 years? I have no idea. I'm definitely not the kind of person, hopefully living in my own place in 5 years, at least to that. But I'm really not the kind of person that plans ahead that far. Like, I just kind of like see where life takes me. I'm not really a planner. Carlton, what's up, Carlton? I'm up to your question on my post from before. And Carlton's actually in the stream, so that's amazing. But we already answered your question. Carlton asked, besides yourself, what is your favorite YouTuber or horror story channel? We've already covered those, but thank you for your question. And he actually just asked another question in the chat. He said, will you show your face when you do a live stream? Only if I have like my whole setup. Like I have lighting and I have all of that, which I can't utilize right now. But if I can get a whole like lighting setup and where I look good, I'll probably consider showing my face on stream. Boogeyman asks, what's your favorite anime and least favorite anime if you watch any? My favorite anime is Rurouni Kenshin, and I really don't have a least favorite anime. Any anime I've watched, I've pretty much been fine with. Can't think of one. Harry Reed says, 10K must feel good. I have most certainly enjoyed watching you grow. My question is, as your channel grows, do you feel you'll be able to keep a sense of community that you have amongst your old subscribers as the larger numbers begin pouring in? Currently, you respond to near every comment, which is amazing, and I love seeing you grow. but I feel eventually those two things will conflict. Also, are you scared of spiders? So this is actually one of my biggest, not like my biggest fear, like it's not like a fear, but something I'm going to be incredibly sad about is that when I do, or if I do, get to a point where it's just very overwhelming to answer every single comment and answer every message and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to be really sad. I'm also going to be obviously happy because, you know, my channel's growing and that's good. And there'll be more of you, but I'm going to be really sad when it gets too hard to answer every comment because I see so many familiar faces every week and I feel like I've gotten to at least have like a little conversation with most of you. And it's going to be really sad when it's just like too much, you know? It's like bittersweet. I don't know I'm still going to try and like keep an eye out for all my like OG fans and like try and answer them whenever I can, of course. And am I scared of spiders? I'm not like deathly scared of spiders. If one's on my body, like I'm not going to like that. But if one's in the room, I'd be like, oh, like I'll either like get rid of it or whatever. I just don't want it to be on my body. Boys are the Star Boys Citizens Life says, do the elevator game. I don't know what that is. I am so sorry. Suicide Snowman asks, do you suffer any mental health illness and have any of the darker stories you've read ever affected you emotionally? I'm pretty mentally healthy. I'm very lucky to be able to say that I'm pretty mentally healthy. I don't really have any issues in that department. And none of the stories I've read have really affected me emotionally in the sense that, like, it was negative. They've affected me emotionally in the sense that I was just like, wow, and, like, wanted to narrate them and share them with, bring them to life. Not like share them with you guys. I'm not trying to say, like, they're my stories, but there's been stories where they just make me feel a type of way. Just like, wow, that was amazing. That just, like, was crazy, and I want to try and do it justice and bring the story to life. So that's kind of how the stories have affected me emotionally. And the last one is Rizzler. There's a community tab. Wow, guess that shows I've been away from YouTube for a while. Anyway, my question is, will you ever do anything else besides read stories here on YouTube? Your stories are creepy and cool, by the way. I can't take credit for all the stories because they're not really mine. But I do something else on YouTube. I have a second channel where I do like regular YouTube stuff where it's just like, fashion and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to get the link for you guys. If you're interested in checking out my second channel, I don't really upload there very much. I'm trying to get better about it. But having the limited time that I do, it's kind of hard to consistently be on top of both channels. But I do other stuff on YouTube. And there's a link in there in the comments for you. And if you're watching this later, everything you need, social media, merch, email, all the kind of stuff is in the description box. Just check it out. And that's about it for the questions on the community tab. So, yeah. You guys can resume asking questions in the chat if you want. But yeah. Whew. I'm so glad that I'm doing this. Like, you guys have no idea. I've been waiting so long. Insane Caveman asks, will you do any Mothman stories? I actually really do want to do Mothman stories because I love the Mothman and I really want to learn more about it. I just have to find some. And then if I find some, I'll do them. And of course, if any of you guys, it doesn't have to, if you want to submit a story, it doesn't have to be yours. Well, okay. I'm going to try and say this the right way. If you find a story on Reddit or something or on the internet, you can send me a link to the story and be like, hey, read this or whatever. And I'll reach out to the author and try and read it. So it doesn't have to be something you wrote, just link it to me Don't try and say that you wrote it though. Like, don't steal the story. Like, just send me the link from the original source, and I'll try and get permission to read it on my channel. Joe O'Connor, when Ozzy Osbourne dies, it's going to be a really sad day. Honestly. Because he's something else, honestly. But yeah. So, oh. PhD McStuffer says, this has been the least amount of viewers I've seen in a live stream. This is actually good for me. I usually get between 20 and 30 listeners. Insane Caveman asks, will you do any Japanese horror stories? Yeah, I love Japan. I just gotta look. I only upload once a week, and like I said, I do work full time, so I'm not like super crazy, like up on what stories I'm gonna read in the future. I just kind of go with it, you know? It's kind of a week to week thing with me. Like, I'm lucky, I'm like fortunate at this point that I kind of have like set what I'm gonna do for the next couple of weeks, because that's amazing. But yeah, mostly my channel's really like a last minute, week to week kind of deal where I'm just like scrambling to get something done. But it always gets done. It always happens. I always make it work. And if I don't make it work, you know, I try and figure something out. Try my best. But yeah. Tater says, after Kurt Cobain died, I quit putting any emotional value into celebrities. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really super obsessed with a lot of celebrities. I really love Jared Leto. Love him. He's so attractive. And I guess Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm really, you know, I look up to him. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not like super into celebrity culture, I suppose. I'm glad you're back from driving, and I'm glad you were safe. I'm always driving, literally always, like, in my car. Basically, I think I'm in my car more than I am in an actual house. I'm glad you're here, Tater. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to talk about. My cat is sleeping at the end of the bed. He's so cute. Terraco Tomoso said, I had enchiladas for dinner. What's your opinion of enchiladas? They are so good. I'm actually going to probably have macaroni and cheese for dinner when I'm done here. You're traveling. Oh, Denver, Colorado. That's somewhere I've always wanted to go. You're at a hotel. Are you on vacation, visiting family? Oh my gosh, I forgot. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Can you type how you pronounce your name again? Zith? I'm just going to call you Zith from now on, because I'm just really bad at pronouncing things. John O'Connor says, I like Rob Zombie, but when he did his versions of Halloween movies, it didn't have the same effect that I thought. Same. Honestly, same, John. The first one I thought was pretty good. Like, I wasn't too upset with it, but the second one just, like, completely, like, fell off the rails. I was like, what direction are you going in? Tater says, you are awesome. Thank you so much, Tater. Means a lot. I appreciate it. Oh, I think somebody asked before what movies I was excited for. Actually, I just saw Christopher Robin today, and, like, my emotions were all over the place. My heart was ripped out and then put back. So if you were a fan of Winnie the Pooh, like, as a child, definitely go see Christopher Robin, but, like, be prepared to have your heart, like, hurt and be sad for, like, the first 75% of the movie. But it does get better, don't worry. But, like, it's pretty, I know, I was pretty sad about, you know, it's just like, Pooh is so cute, and, like, he was sad and things were happening, and but it does get better, don't worry. But yeah, I just saw that movie today. I'm excited for, I don't know, Venom. Venom's coming out. I'm excited for that. I heard Rob Zombie is doing another, the three from Hell. I'm really excited for that. Carlton asks, what's your favorite restaurant and TV show? Mine is Mug and Bun and The Walking Dead. I have a favorite sushi restaurant that I frequent, and I'm pretty sure that it's only here, like specifically where I live. So I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's this one specific sushi restaurant that I frequent. They actually like know my name, and it's horrible. And my favorite TV show, I don't know. If it's like on actual like cable television, I enjoy American Horror Story. Yeah. John O'Connor says they're doing another Halloween. Yeah, I heard about the other Halloween. I'm kind of interested in that. I hope it's good. Wrath says, what's something you want to do before you die? You know what's really weird? I actually kind of have done, like, a few years ago I made a, like, things I want to do before I, like, you know, like, how do I speak? How do I make words? I've pretty much done everything I was kind of, like, set on, like, my major goals that I set for myself. I've kind of done them. Like, I went to Japan. That was one major thing I wanted to do, and I've already done that. And I've met Jared Leto. I've met him multiple times. Touched him multiple times, like, oh my goodness. And I met Anthony Kiedis, and I cried hysterically. So I've kind of done, like, those were, like, 3 things I wanted to do. And I guess now I kind of have to reevaluate what I want to do because I've done all the things. Harry, I already answered your question. You missed it. But Harry knows the answer to the question anyway. I'm glad you're here, though. I actually have never seen Freddy vs. Jason. I just, like, wasn't... I don't know, it didn't interest me. Touched him multiple times. Oh my goodness. Blackeyed Blonde 2018. What would we do without Harry, guys? What would we do? Harry says, I am just terrible today. Oh, we're in for it. It's gonna be fun. Stream just got fun. What happened to you, Tuxedo? Why do you only have one hand? Did you hurt yourself? I hope you didn't hurt yourself. PhD McStuffer says it's 10 p.m. and I'm staying up. I'm attempting to watch the whole stream. What time do you usually go to bed? I usually stay up, like, mad late. Like, definitely past 12. I don't sleep. Well, to be fair, I go to, like, my workday starts in the afternoon, so, like, I kind of stay up later because I don't have to wake up early. I hate waking up early, actually. I hate it. I'm really, really bad at waking up, and I'm really, really bad at being on time. I absolutely can't do it to save my life. I'm so bad at it. Like, if nobody bothered me, I could probably just sleep all day. Which is, it's just kind of, I'm really bad at going to sleep, and then once I'm asleep, I'm really bad at waking up. And then I'm really bad at being on time. I am just an awful person. PhD McStuffer says, 1 a.m. is usually my breaking point. I'm weak. Are you a morning person, PhD? 'Cause I'm not a morning person. John O'Connor asks, do you think they'll do justice to the Venom movie and stay true to the character from the comic book? I'm not really sure. I'm not really, like, too, versed, like, very, very familiar with the comics and, like, everything accurately. But I don't know. I've heard mixed things from people that are like knowledgeable about that, like really knowledgeable, and they're kind of like, I'm not sure, but I'm still excited for it. And I guess it's kind of good that I don't really know too much, because then maybe I can just enjoy the movie for what it is. Harry says he's usually woken up by the word lunch. Carlton Nolan says, I have a joke for you. What's the smallest room you can enter? A mushroom. That's like a dad joke. That's good. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Insane Caveman says, I just stay up playing on my PS4 and then watch YouTube until 2 a.m. Yeah, I usually just get like in a YouTube rabbit hole until really late at night, and then I realize that it's like 3 in the morning and I should probably go to bed. It's not good. It's not a good quality. I am the worst. I used to always think, like, when I was little, I used to always think that once you became like an adult, that you just automatically wanted to wake up early. I just thought that like once you hit like 20, it was just automatic switch in your body that you're just like, now I want to wake up early. I also thought that same thing about like school and stuff. I thought that once you went to college, you would just like automatically want to go to school and be excited about going to school. And that's not the case. You kind of just have to actually try to do these things and put effort into them. But I always grew up thinking it would just like switch one day. And I was really disappointed when it didn't, because it makes life very difficult. Hey Carlton, go for the dirty jokes. You can type them in the chat. I'm not going to delete them. If I actually read them out loud is another story, but if you want to put the jokes out there, you do you. Harry says, here's a joke. How many black-eyed blondes does it take to make my day? It's not actually a joke, and the answer is 1. You're too sweet, Harry. You really are. John O'Connor says, I asked the Venom question because I know that they did justice to Wolverine and Hugh Jackman as the character. Yeah, all of the, not all of the Wolverine stuff was good, but Logan was phenomenal. That movie Logan was phenomenal. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Yeah. Oh, Tuxedo said, I missed it. Oh my gosh. No. I think I missed something, sorry. Oh, Tuxedo said that they have pins in their thumb. That hurts. I'm so sorry you're going through that. Harry says he would tell his usual jokes, but this is a family-friendly stream. Say phenomenal more. It's funny. Phenomenal. Yeah, Carlton, I'm not going to read that joke out loud, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I see you. Tuxedo says, Twitter. What do you mean, Twitter? I think I'm missing some things. Do you want me to follow you on Twitter? Do you want my Twitter handle? I could give you that. Here's my Twitter handle if anyone wants to follow me on Twitter. I do a lot of updates on Twitter, actually. I don't care, I'll say it. Cunt says, my name is family friendly. Wrath says, any tips for writing stories? I have many experiences that would make great true stories, but I lack the ability to make them longer than like 3 minutes. So if they're 3 minutes, like if you read them out loud and it reads out loud at 3 minutes, that's fine. The tips that I would give you for writing stories, or if you wanted to submit stories to me, just try and you at least use like periods and commas, like minimal. This is for submitting a story to me. Like if you wanted me to read one of your stories, Wraths, please try to use as much minimal grammar as you can, and please break up your story into paragraphs so that it's easy to read. Like wall of text is the worst, but that's basically like tips that I could give you if you were looking to submit a story. Just like minimal grammar, like try your best, because I suck at grammar. Like I'm not gonna tell people like you have to have great grammar, because like I'm the worst. And break it up into paragraphs so that it's easy to read. And just put as much detail as you can. Like don't just be like, oh, I saw ghosts in the corner of my room. Kind of describe what you were doing, you know, like what you were doing that day, what like led up to seeing the ghost in the corner, how did it make you feel? As much details as possible. Oh, Tuxedo, you tagged me in something. Okay, I'll take a look after the stream. Thank you. John O'Connor says, what do Santa Claus and a pimp have in common? They both yell, ho, ho, ho. That's funny. Cunt says, would you go to Australia? Yeah, I would. I actually really want to go to Australia one day. It's on my list. Harry says, Harry says he checks my Twitter regularly and her Instagram. And her Instagram gets some barely pervy comments, but she's pretty, so I understand. Well, thank you, Harry. And yeah, I do get some creeps sliding in my DMs, but we just ignore them. It's fine. It's fine. Carlton says, if a cowboy rides in on Friday, stays at an inn for 2 days, and leaves on Friday, how can that be? His horse's name is Friday. That's funny. I appreciate these dad jokes. I do. They're good. I feel like nobody, like, tells jokes on stream. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know what happens. Boogeyman, I answered your question before. From, like, way back when you asked me a question on my community tab. So if you want to go back in the stream a little bit, I did answer your question. Insane Caveman asks, will you do any catfish stories? I don't know if they're scary. Like, some of them aren't scary. Some of them are just like, ah, gotcha. I'm actually a man when I said I was a 12-year-old girl. Like, no. Yeah, I did answer your question. Don't worry, I'm saving the stream, so you can go back later. Yeah, Harry, you control yourself, sir. No. Should we read a story, guys? Should we read a story? Do you want to read a story? Come on, let's read a story. No, that was horrible. That was horrible. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Where should I get a story from? Let's see. Let's see. I wish that every subreddit like let you know if the story was like long or short, because some of them are long. I'm gonna read this story. It's called Matthew, and my boyfriend's name is Matthew, so I find that funny. So I'm going to read this story I found. It's on No Sleep. It's by the user Hazit, and it was posted 8 hours ago. It's a fresh one. I met Matthew when I was 17 years old. He was the life of the party, no matter where I went. I could always find him with his friends, drinking punch straight from the bowl, his dirty blonde hair pushed loosely over his hazy blue eyes. I'm gonna stop for a minute. My boyfriend also has dirty blonde hair. This is weird. He doesn't have blue eyes, though. Now we're gonna go back now. My friends introduced us at prom night, and we hit it off almost immediately. My interests matched his. We liked the same music, the same movies, the same books. We started going out officially in 2 months, and the relationship continued beyond high school and beyond college. We started seriously considering marriage. Hold on.
Grape soda in there if you need it.
Okay, thank you. Then it happened. I was crushed in a head-on collision in an intersection up north of my work, and I should have died immediately, except I didn't. I barely survived and was put on life support for the following year. This was hard on Matthew. He visited me every day, and I could see his condition deteriorate bit by bit. But one day, something changed in him. He stopped going to work and sometimes left only to come back with strange marks on his neck. He took my blood samples and performed strange rituals at my bedside. Eventually, it was time to pull the cord. There was no hope of me ever waking up from my coma. Matthew stole my corpse from the hospital. When I woke up, I was in a strange world. Everything was slightly gray and muted. I didn't remember anything. The house I was kept in was blinking in and out of existence, as did everything else. And now, it's been 3 years since I woke up in this gray world. I was going about my usual routine, checking the news, making a quick breakfast. When I returned to my table, I found an envelope. I didn't remember going out to bring in the mail, but at this point, I was used to things appearing out of nowhere. Out of curiosity, I opened the envelope. It was crammed with photos and newspaper clippings. All of them were of me, but they were of me and a tall blonde man smiling, and one of them was me in a white dress kissing the blonde man. I started crying. I'm not sure why. I didn't remember anything back then, but I heard someone behind me. I didn't want you to see them, he said. It was the blonde man. What are they? I asked, crying. What are these pictures? It's us, Emma, sweetheart, he said, smiling, crying. Then I remembered. I remembered every ride we had gone on in our high school years. I remembered all the dates he'd taken me on in our college days. I remembered the nights we'd eaten frozen pizza together on the porch, talking about family. And I remembered the crash, my death, and I felt a chill. I died, Maddie. I know. I'm going to bring you back to life, sweetheart. His smile was chilling, his eyes slightly crazed, broken. But I trusted him. I loved him with all my heart. I still do. And I didn't want to leave him alone. I'll wait then, Matt. He smiled at me. I love you, Emma. He disappeared. I studied the pictures after he left, but something was wrong. My head hurt. In fact, it hurt so much that I couldn't concentrate on anything but breathing, gasping, fighting to stay alive. You won't die, you know. I turned around. There was a small girl leaning on the table. Who are you? I tried to even my breathing. Lucy. Humans call me Lucifer. I'm not really bad, though. I'm not going to kill you or anything. She was pretty. Her eyes were more brown than red, and her dark hair was welcoming. Emma Staffordshire, you died on July 2nd, 2012. Your body is still buried in Matthew's yard. You were revived through his mind. He created a separate reality where he could save the pieces of your soul that lay within him. In a way, it's a bit like asphodel, and it's not a sin, it's not a sin to have you saved this way. You haven't committed any major crimes in your life, so hell's not filling or anything. She sighs. But the biggest problem is that he only has pieces of your soul. He doesn't have all of it, so part of your soul is already in judgment. We've been looking for you for the past 2 years. She gives me a small but sad smile. But, Lucifer, you're the devil, aren't you? But even as I say it, I doubt myself. The girl is too kind, too gentle. Maybe not, but it doesn't matter how I'm perceived. I torment the evil, but I can't harm innocent souls like you, but I came here with a warning. You can't be here. You're the figment of your soul that lays within Matthew. Your soul can't be judged until it's whole. You've already stalled judgment for 2 years. You weren't conscious of what was happening, so this won't be considered a sin, but you have a choice. Leave this world or stay and become a hunted sinner. If you do, Matthew will be hunted too. You will both go to hell. She smiles at me. She smiles at me. Matthew must love you a lot. We couldn't find you for ages, but he's created an imbalance in the field when he visited you. She left me with a few hours to decide, but I already know what to do. I love you, Matthew. The end. So that was interesting. Yeah, we see we have some new faces, I think. Ned Silver, I answered your question before too. So if you go back in the stream, I answered your question before. So yes, that's so exciting. So if you go back, I answered your question. Let's see. This story is called Blonde Do a Gay Voice. What do you mean do a gay voice? Hi, Henry. Yeah, I was expecting a little more out of that story too, but still pretty interesting. Maybe there's going to be another part. I don't know. They just posted it 8 hours ago. It's fairly new. Thank you, Henry Vang. I will try my best to keep pleasing you. There's one dislike. It doesn't belong. It's fine. A stereotypical gay voice. Why? Hello? That's all you're getting, Harry. Now we're going to read. Something horrible is happening at work. It was posted 11 hours ago in No Sleep by the author, Writing in Circles. I've always disliked Rob. He's middle-aged with ghosts of age lines just beginning to creep in along the corners of his mouth and eyes. He has small, beady eyes lost in a pale, round face, and his generous stomach strains against the pearly restraints of his pastel button-down shirts. The fluorescent lights in the office reflect off his almost perfectly round-shaved head, giving the effect of a massive flesh-toned crystal ball. He's the kind of boss that laughs at his own jokes and then waits for you to laugh in agreement. Rob asked me to meet with him in his office today. Well, this wasn't unusual. He's a fan of self-congratulatory one-on-one conferences with his employees. We sat across from each other, his wood-veneered desk between us. Officially, it was considered a private office because it came with a translucent sliding door that separated him from the rest of the peons in the cubicle village. Apart from the door, though, his middle management office was modest at best. Books sit on dusty shelves with vague corporate titles like Leading with Care and Balancing Compassion with Leadership and Raising the Stakes. Rob was droning on about the project I'd submitted last week. I'd sat through these one-on-one meetings before, and I knew what to expect. Rob's speeches were part high school guidance counselor and part shameless self-promotion. All I had to do was nod in agreement at the appropriate intervals. Now, a few years back, I worked on a similar project. Let me tell you about it. Yep, this was going to be a long one. Glancing around the room, I noticed that there was an almost mirror-like reflection of Rob's head in the window behind him. While marveling at the perfect symmetry of his bulbous head, I noticed something strange. I gave another slight head nod to indicate that I agreed with whatever he was talking about. Then I leaned forward and squinted my eyes to get a better look. There was a dark spot in the middle of the back of his head, maybe the size of a quarter. What the fuck was that? As Rob continued to drone on about his accomplishments, I kept looking at the black spot in his reflection. Was it getting bigger? It seemed to be twice the size of what it was a minute ago, and just above it, near the crown of his head, another one seemed to be starting. I looked at Rob's face. He was still talking, droning on about client management. More of those weird spots were showing up. They were gray, like dirty dishwater. There was one on his forehead and a large one on his left cheek, near the jawline. It was round and soft-looking, almost mushy. The top looked tight and dry, like skin over old pudding. "Hey, Rob? Are you feeling okay?" Rob didn't hear me, or he chose to ignore me. I'm not sure which one. While he continued on his diatribe and wiped his forehead with the back of his hand, I realized that the area he had touched was distorted and wrinkled. It was like the skin had become detached from the tissue below. He then lifted his hand to his jaw as if to scratch an itch. As I watched his finger, it went through the skin of his cheek, directly through the center of one of the soft gray spots. Brown fluid splashed onto his shirt. There were more of them now, spreading across his face, at least 2 inches across. He casually withdrew the finger from his face, bits of pink flesh dripping onto his desk. There was a ragged hole left along the jawline, and I could see his muscles moving in perfect coordination underneath as he droned on. One of the spots along his right temple began to protrude and sag, and at the same time, a thick brown fluid started to drip from his nose. A rank, dead smell had filled the room. A blob of rotten gray tissue fell from his left temple and splattered on impact across his desk. His right eyeball fell out and rolled across the desk, trailing delicate red blood vessels behind. The process was happening faster now, as chunks of rotten skin and muscle fell onto the desk. The smell was overwhelming. I couldn't breathe. I was gagging, choking on the air, but somehow frozen in place. Throughout it, he just kept talking, even though most of his face was gone at this point. His teeth and jaw were winking at me, shining a dull yellow white through the hollows of his cheek. My brain finally reconnected with my legs. I ran out of the office and into the small employee bathroom, my stomach heaving. I vomited, almost missing the toilet. The automatic flush kicked in, spraying tiny particles of toilet water into my face. My legs were shaking. I sat down, my back against the door. Someone started knocking at the door. Katie, are you okay?" It was Rob. The smell was back, and there was a gelatinous brown puddle seeping in under the door. I was silent. "Katie?" It was a different voice this time. "Oops, Katie?" It was a different voice this time. I recognized it as belonging to Angela, Rob's secretary. There was no distress in her voice. I heard murmurs of the other employees outside. No one was screaming. Why wasn't anyone screaming? I'm feeling sick. I'll be out in a little bit." After a few minutes of quiet, I cracked the door and looked out at the office. My coworkers were all busy at work. Everything looked normal. The door to Rob's office was closed. I made my way out, feeling the concerned eyes of the office upon me. I made my way over to my workstation and reached down to grab my things to leave. Without warning, I felt a hand on my shoulder. "Katie, when you get a chance, come back in my office. I want to finish with you." I could see the outline of his overstuffed abdomen pushing against his sky blue button-down shirt. I didn't look up. I couldn't look up. His hand weighed on my shoulder, soft and heavy. Sure, Rob." "Great. See you later." He turned and walked away. I heard his footsteps go into his office, followed by the sound of the door sliding shut. I finally turned around, and a trail of dark stains marked the path back to his office. There was an ear on the carpet outside my cubicle. Angela walked by and picked it up, holding the ear in her palm. She smiled at me and said, "Glad you're feeling better." I grabbed my bag and left. I haven't been back. My phone keeps ringing. I haven't answered it, but it's Rob. Every time. The end. FIS asks, I don't know if you've already answered this, but what is your favorite story you've read or written? Actually, I've answered what my favorite story that I've read was. You can go back and check that out. I will be saving the stream as well, so you can go back. And my favorite story I have written is actually on my channel. It's called The Seconds Between. And I would explain it, but that would give away the ending. But if you want to check it out, I can link you to it. Just give me a second and I'll find it for you. But that is my favorite story that I have written myself. It's not too long, so let me just get the link for you and you can check that out if you would like to. There you go. Hi, 0072. 0072 says, I love your voice. Thank you. Harry doesn't like my little gay voice I did for him before because he's being inappropriate and making me do stereotypical things. So, yeah.
Leave him alone. Got nothing to do with it. I don't know.
Harry put some symbols. Oh, it's a rainbow symbol. So, yeah. That's some story. My people are not inappropriate. How dare you? My Wi-Fi is on crack today. I'm not calling, oh my god, I'm not calling gay people inappropriate. I'm saying that you're making me do something stereotypical and some people might be offended. Why isn't anyone screaming? That's me in gym class. Why isn't anyone screaming? That's me in life. An 80s California voice. Alright, guys. DJ Zombie Beat Official says, I love your voice. Thank you so much. Gay people aren't offended by offensive gay people. Okay. Sorry guys, 1 second. Alright. So, does anybody have any other questions? Or anything, any requests that you want me to do? Sorry, I might get loud for a second. I need to, like, move my leg. I'm sitting in a really weird position. My leg is, like, numb. Oof. Yeah. Karaoke. I'm not doing karaoke. Absolutely not. Carlton Nolan asks, are you religious at all? I am not religious at all. Not to say that I don't think that there is possibly something greater than ourselves. I just don't hone it into one specific thing. I'm just me, being myself, living my life. Hi, Diaper Sniper. How are you? He asks, Diaper Sniper asks, how am I today? I am doing good. I'm glad it's Friday. I'm glad I'm streaming. Can't complain. My favorite cryptid. I don't know if the Mothman is like considered a cryptid, but I really like the Mothman. Harry asked, how is BMO? And for those of you who don't know, BMO is my cat. BMO is my cat on the merch and in my intro. That's my boy, my little baby. You can buy a shirt with his, I was going to say you could buy a shirt with his shirt on it. No. You could buy a shirt with his face on it. if you're interested. There's hoodies, t-shirts. But that's BMO, and BMO's doing great. He's sleeping at the end of the bed, being cute. He actually was biting me before the stream, so I don't know. He's mad at me. Henry Vang asked, so I don't know if I missed it, but what is your job besides this? I did answer that one before, but I'll answer it again. I work with a mentally disabled adult. He has autism, and I take care of him. And I've been with him for 5 years. And I do that full time. Diaper Sniper said, now the biggest question, Fortnite. I have never played Fortnite. My boyfriend plays it. Insane Caveman asked, did you get the name of your cat from Adventure Time? The name of my cat is from Adventure Time, but he was given to us as a kitten from one of my really good friends, and she names him BMO when she got him, and she wound up not being able to keep him. So she just asked that when we take him that we keep his name. So we kept the name BMO. And yes, it is from Adventure Time. My favorite TV show that's on actual television is probably, I didn't mention before, I'm thinking like current TV show that's still around. Like Breaking Bad was a great show. House was a great show. American Horror Story. I love House. House was really good. Nip Tuck was really good. I never got to finish watching Nip Tuck, but I don't know if any of you remember that show, Nip Tuck. I really liked that show. John O'Connor asked, what is your favorite kids cereal? I like Lucky Charms. Marshmallows give me life. Yeah. Henry Vang says, in regarding to my job, Henry Vang says, oh, that's awesome. I'm sure it takes a lot to do that. A lot of people say that, yeah, it takes a lot to do it. I don't really mind. Like some days, of course, are harder than others depending on what happens, but mostly I don't really mind. Harry apparently has the most important question he will ever ask me. Stay tuned. John O'Connor says his favorite childhood cereal was Count Chocula. I don't like chocolate, guys. I can't say that that's my favorite, but I appreciate you. Harry's going to get mad at me because Harry says, what is your opinion of the song Mr. Blue Sky by ELO? I literally have no idea what you're talking about. Diaper Sniper says, tell us the scariest and creepiest story you have ever heard. I already have. It's on my channel. Feed the pig. Listen to it, Sinner. What kind of music is it? Like rock, pop, classical? Because I don't know. I might not like it, Harry. I might not like it. It's good music. I like music where it's like, ugh! That's the kind of music that I like. Henry Vang asks, can we donate to you? Do you have a Patreon? I do not have a Patreon. And the reason I don't have a Patreon is because I really can't. I know that I've said this a bunch of times, but like with Patreon, you have to kind of, there's like a reward system for people pledging to you every month, and like I just have nothing to give you guys. So the best way to donate to me, and the way that you guys would definitely get something out of it, is to buy my merch, because then like, I get a monetary compensation from the merch, and you guys get a cool t-shirt. So that would be the best way to do that. If you don't want to buy a merch, there's a little super chat button down there that you can do, and you can pick a donation, and my paypal.me is linked in the description if you're interested. So there's three fun ways if you're interested in any donation type deal, but you by no means have to do any of that, but I do appreciate it. John O'Connor says, do you like the band Disturbed? I do like Disturbed, but in small doses. I've kind of found with them, at least my personal opinion, is that if I listen to like a bunch of albums back to back, it all just starts to kind of sound very similar. So I kind of have to listen to like a couple songs at a time and be like, yeah, I'm digging it. I can't just like overdose on Disturbed, because then I feel like it all blends. That might be just me. Harry asked, are you disturbed? Probably. I am probably disturbed. Yes, Diaper Sniper, it is. PhD McStuffers says dogs are mean. Some dogs, I guess, could be mean, like if their owners didn't train them correctly, but most dogs are nice. I've encountered wonderful, wonderful puppers in my day. So I'm going to keep this stream. What's your opinion on Africa by Toto? That song follows me everywhere. Literally, I hear it once a day, or more than once a day, which I think is not normal. I think that's more than the average person hears Africa by Toto, and I am afraid. I am afraid. Send help. So I'm going to keep this stream going for just a few more minutes, guys, and then I'm going to head off. I have not had dinner yet, and I'm not going to lie to you. I need to watch part 3 of Shane Dawson's Jeffree Star video series. Like, I absolutely need to. I'm hooked. Actually, fun fact, I went to Warped Tour. If you guys know what Warped Tour is, it's like a music festival type thing. Actually, this year was the last year. But anyway, I went to Warped Tour one year, and Jeffree Star was playing Warped Tour that year when he was doing music. And I was waiting online to meet him, and some girl cut me online, like cut in front of me. And when I got up to him to meet him, he had noticed that girl cut me, and he was like, hey, like, did some chick like cut you online? And I was like, oh yeah, like whatever. And he was like, you should have punched a bitch. And I was like, oh my god, Jeffree. So I'm never going to forget that moment. But anyway, I'm definitely hooked, and I'm ready to watch part 3. And I'm ready to have some dinner. Wild guess what it is. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you know what I always have for dinner. Somebody guess in the comments. I'll tell you if you're right. Tater says Kansas's Carry On follows me. I feel your pain. Is that, Carry on my wayward son? Is it that one? Love my singing. It's great. Give me a record deal. Harry, you're not allowed to guess because I know you know. Alright. You guys got it. It's macaroni and cheese. It's Friday. That means macaroni and cheese. Oh yeah. I'm excited. What did you guys have for dinner? If you had dinner. Diaper Sniper asks, what is my favorite food? Sushi and mac and cheese. Tomatoes. Actually don't. Tomatoes are hit or miss with me. Sometimes I dig tomatoes and other times I don't dig tomatoes. FIS says breakfast burritos. Insane Caveman says chili. Harry says the screams of children. Ooh, breakfast burritos from McDonald's. Actually, I have only had McDonald's breakfast like 4 times in my life. A lot. Well, now McDonald's has breakfast all day, so I should like really get on that. But most places that like fast food places that serve breakfast, I'm never up early enough to even try. Ew, chili mac. Tater says chili mac. I don't like... I'm really weird, and like if I'm eating mac and cheese, like I have to just eat mac and cheese. Like it can't have bacon, it can't have chili, it can't have anything else in it. It just has to be plain. Like, I'm really weird like that. I don't like shit in my shit. Like, I just like basic, plain, separate stuff. PhD McSuffer said that they had chocolate for dinner. That's not healthy. I also really, like, I really don't like chocolate. I've mentioned that on other streams before. Like, I can barely even smell things that are chocolate. I don't know, I don't like it because I'm a freak. And I have problems. I don't like shit in my shit. Literally, my catchphrase. So, yeah. On that note, that we've talked about food for quite a bit now, I'm going to be heading out, guys. And thank you all for joining me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for almost 11,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers and any amount of subscribers. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Since it was asked, if you guys want to make any sort of donation, you can buy merch. The link is in the description. I have a PayPal. The link is in the description. It's also being displayed on the screen. Well, there's super chat, but I'm ending the stream, so don't do that because I'm ending it. So that would just be a waste of your money. So don't do that. And yeah, but yeah, no, I have merch. And if you buy my merch, tag me in a picture of you wearing my merch, and I will retweet it, put it on my Twitter story. I will retweet it, put it on my Instagram story, like shout you out, because I think that that's awesome. And yes. And Harry asked, would I shit in a bucket for big windows? I definitely would. I didn't know you knew about that. Did I, like, mention that before? It's a long story, guys. It's a long story. But, yes. Now that I've been sufficiently weird, I will let you guys go, and I hope that you all have a great weekend, and I hope you enjoyed spending some time with me here. And I will see you guys in the next one. And bye. Good night.